There's only so much room in a 4-minute song, so let's talk about it. We'll start with some stripped-down acoustic videos, and then a few girl chats. From self-love, dating, and relationships to chasing our dreams, no topic is off limits. There are lots of laughs, but it also gets deep. Join us as we bare our souls in the Beyond the Song series. Hi guys, hello ladies, hello gentlemen, and welcome. Today I have a few friends with me. My name is TAMISH, and I am doing something called the Beyond the Song series. The goal of the Beyond the Song series is to talk about the messaging behind the songs so that we can all be healed from it, that we can all be inspired, and maybe we can reach you as well. Maybe you can relate. So, getting into it, my name is TAMISH once again, and I have some beautiful ladies with me here today, whom I love. To my far right, to your left, we have Njeri. Hi. Hairstylist, a product brand owner for Formula N. So say hi to Njeri.
Hi.
Njeri.
Very nice.
Awesome, and she's amazing. She does my hair as well. You love it? I know, it's beautiful. All right, next we have my dear Cathleen.
Hello.
Who is amazing. She's a powerhouse. She is like your next everything. She's an amazing writer. She has a book that she's getting published. She also does plays, and you have marketing background and all types of things. She's just amazing. Say hi to Kathleen.
Hello.
She's amazing.
Hi, how's it going?
And then to my left and to your right, we have my dear Malaika, who has a wealth of experience as well. She, you do so much. I'll say she's a makeup artist. She did my makeup, which is beautiful, which is great to kind of pull in some people that do some of the outer aesthetics, as we're going to talk about some inner conversations today. But she also does event planning and anything that you need, she can handle it. So say hi to Malaika as well. Cool. So today I have these beautiful ladies here to chat a little bit about my song, You Are Enough. To talk about the song a little bit, I'm really talking about women. We're just interesting creatures.
Very interesting.
Beautifully interesting creatures.
Fast.
We are beautifully interesting creatures in the sense that we have all of these different things that, and that's probably humans just in general. I won't even say as women, where let's say we all have something that we love about ourselves. There are things that we absolutely hate.
Right.
For whatever reason. And it could be something that, let's say for an example, the person that has smaller boobs, if you will, excuse the boob language, okay? Someone that has smaller boobs, and they look at the person with bigger boobs, let's say, and like, oh, I want bigger boobs, or I want to get plastic surgery to get bigger boobs, for an example. And then the person with bigger boobs is, you know, having back pain and wants a reduction, like wants an actual boob reduction. People have those insecurities about these things that we desire, if you will. The other person desires, and the person that has it sometimes is like, really? I actually want what you have. So the whole message behind it is that whole grass is always greener mentality that we sometimes have. And that's what we're here to talk about a bit. Everything that entails. So perhaps I can kick it off with a question for you all. Sure. Share something that you love about yourself, like your favorite feature, if you will, and then maybe something that you see as a flaw or you grew up thinking was a flaw. Njeri, how about you? Let's start with Njeri.
Okay, so I have an interesting thing because, you know, in my mind, I would always, especially when I was younger, like I didn't really see myself. Like where it was most prominent was like in pictures. Like in the moment I would think like, oh yeah, you know, you try to dress it up, you try to, you know, do whatever, because I really didn't hear the you're beautiful and you're, no shade to my upbringing, mom, dad, I love you, I love everybody. Everybody's doing the best.
We love all of you all.
You're doing the best with what you have and what you know to do at the moment. So it's not coming from a resentful space, but I always noticed like a sadness in my eyes. Like, because I was searching or looking for someone to validate the external. Like, I mean, one thing I could say that I liked was my hair. You know, I liked my hair, you know, but I later fell in love with my eyes. Why? Because now, strangely, it's like I see something different. I see myself. I see who I am. So not just internally, but also externally, and not being afraid to say, okay, yeah, I think I'm fine. Like, you know, I would always have encounters with people when I was younger, and I guess maybe that's was my path, but that would always try to point out some flaw to some degree, no matter who I'm around, or, oh yeah, or she thinks she's this. Or she thinks this. Little did they know, you know, on my insides, I'm looking for something. Like,
right. So
you know, I never thought I was like ugly, but I would always have somebody either comparing me to someone or trying to say that I think I'm all that.
Yeah.
But you guess what? Yeah,
I
am.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Was it because of like your complexion or your hair? Because your hair is probably maybe a little more manageable.
Honestly, I don't know what it was. I mean, it was just something that even in small settings, even in settings of certain circles of friends or certain things, there was always some kind of side jab, some kind of oh yeah, you're it's always some kind of press down situation. So for me, I fought long and hard. And it wasn't until I became a grown woman that I realized that, yeah, I am beautiful. Yes, I am the shit. Yes, God gave me.
Right.
Yes, I said shit and God in the same sentence. Yeah, right. Sometimes it goes. Sometimes my prayers, my prayers include many words. So, I love it. Not to take all the time, but no, it's just the truth.
Sorry.
No, but like that
it's
shrinkage,
just the truth.
I think
it's
like
that.
we do kind of shrink, in order to make people feel as though, we are like less than, even though in our minds we know that we're great, but because people have a certain view, or like you said, the perception or the things that people impose on you, it kind of creates an insecurity in you.
I felt I had a very different upbringing. I was always a big girl, plus size girl, but I never knew that I was supposed to hate myself for that. So it was very interesting. I had very loving parents, incredibly supportive. Kathleen, you're amazing. You can do whatever you want type of parents, which was great. And so when I got a little older, I found out from other people actually that being plus size means you're supposed to hate yourself. And I was like, really? That's fascinating. So I would say I always thought I was pretty. I always thought I was smart. I always thought I was hardworking. I always thought I could have whatever I wanted. Like I always thought that way. And it was interesting. I started feeling the insecurity not from others, but from within. So the battle to Kathleen's self-love journey was within. I never heard it from parents. I never heard it from siblings. I never heard it from anyone. It was always, Kathleen, you can do what you want to do. So, but the internal Kathleen was like, you're really not that awesome. You actually do kind of suck a little bit here. It's like, well, why am I fighting with you? And I felt the battle between Kathleen and Kathleen was there's something in your brain internally that wants to fight happiness, that wants to fight self-satisfaction, that wants to fight contentment, because something's got to be wrong. It can't be awesome. Not everything can be awesome. And so I had to, part of my self-love practice was fighting the internal Kathleen. I started calling her Amber because I think Amber's the name of a bitch. So I was like, Amber, I'm not going to deal with you right now. You're going to have to calm down.
Excuse me, any Ambers.
Any Ambers, no.
We love you
that's
all.
the name of my
not you.
It's like, I'm going to need you to calm down because I have a lot of stuff to do. And self-hate is paralyzing and it's fear-based and it's extraordinarily hard to get yourself to keep going when it goes like it just stops you. And I think it's important to really kind of look that person, whoever it is if it's be it internal or external, look that person inside and be like, what's your problem? Fall the hell back. I think confronting that person, that internal or external Amber, confronting that chick is the most important thing you could ever do to yourself, to empower yourself and stand up for yourself.
Yeah, I love it. You all made me think about something. I have a bunch of things. Let me pace myself. I need like notes to write down. But it made me just think about the shrinking down, if you will, the shrinking down piece. And what is that within, I don't know if that's a human thing or is that a woman thing of feeling like that shrinking down piece that we sometimes feel of like, all right, if someone gives us a compliment, we can't really accept a compliment.
I definitely think it's a woman thing.
I struggle with
and that goes with science. I'm sure everyone's seen that video about by Amy Cuddy about power poses. Statistically, women do it more. We shrink down, get a compliment. Oh no, it's okay. Instead of being like, thank you.
Like I'm having a bad hair day today.
There has to be acceptance even in boardrooms and office spaces and relationships. We always feel like
that's where I struggle
we have to back up up, we have to shrink down, we have to be less of ourselves because it's we're cultured that that's not right. It's not just American culture, it's every other culture. We're taught that there's something wrong with that. With being bigger than life, with being, happy and confident and, just kind of owning your badassery. We're told that there's something wrong with that.
Yeah. What about you? Because I know you had mentioned dealing with, I guess, people always trying to find and pick a flaw. How are you, I guess, on the opposite side when people were like, if people were like more like, oh, you're really pretty, or this is cute, or I like your hair. Or,
I mean, I accept a compliment. I do the same thing, and it's not even conscious. It's like, I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, oh, thank you.
It's super awkward.
Like, it's like, I don't get why, well, Kathleen definitely, stated it. It's this thing. It's like this, like, and then watching someone else and their greatness, I feel like somehow anyone with that struggle, whether to whatever degree it is, will see that thing, the greatness in the other person, or someone who has overcome that part of their issue, and resent them.
Yeah.
Or resent the freedom, resent their demonstration of their own self-acceptance, and then in turn, here come the side jabs or any of the other things, instead of it igniting something in them to want to do something,
Yeah. Right. Yeah. What about you, Malaika?
My struggle, honestly, is just always hearing, you're so pretty, you're so pretty, you're so pretty.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
No,
and she's not being like arrogant or anything
seriously,
like that.
because for me, I feel, and Jermaine and I have conversations about that. It's very important for me to kind of step outside of that. Like, I don't want people to just see me as being pretty. Like, even when I talk to people and I'm not working, and they'll say, oh my God, like, if they just see you, they'll give you a job. Like, I don't want to be based on just being pretty.
Yeah.
I don't want to be based on this outward exterior that is deteriorating a little bit every day. Like, when I enter a room, I want you to say, oh, she's smart, or oh, she's creative, or oh, she has good ideas, or oh, this. And so I know that I personally struggle. I cringe. Like, I don't like to hear that all the time. I don't want people to just see me for my face. I want them to receive me in different ways. So I try to go above and beyond that. Yeah.
Have you experienced that though a lot? Like,
especially since I've gotten older. Like, when we were talking about our flaws, as a child, I always thought I was kind of like an ugly duckling that kind of like has blossomed, into what I am.
I saw your pictures of the child. You were not ugly at all, first of all.
I think the thing that I've always struggled with is my height, because in my mind, which is why I'm always in heels, in my mind, I'm like statuesque, and I'm like 6'1", and I'm like a model, and I have these like amazingly long legs. So I always wanted to be a little bit taller.
Yes.
God didn't bless me in that.
Well, sharing a little bit of my own flaw. I guess I can't ask you a question and I answer my own self, or a flaw that I felt. Growing up, kids, they try you, okay? And it's crazy. Because I work with kids now, and seeing, like, I do like some music programs with them, and seeing how they treat one another is just like, where are you all even learning this from? Right. Like, where is that even coming from?
And then they grow up to be adult bullies.
Yeah. Exactly.
If unchecked, sometimes they're better, but if you just let it ride.
Yeah. They're like, who taught you all this? Like, they're talking about each other's shoes, like, just all types of stuff. So kids are, a bit rough, if you will. But I would say, for me, people used to always tease me about my forehead, which I thought was amazing, personally. I did wear bangs. My forehead, and that was really it. That was primarily it. One guy was like in kindergarten, maybe first grade, and it was an 8th grader at the school. We were playing in gym, recess or something like that, and he was like, oh, you go somewhere with your big forehead self or something like that. So I told this guy, pray for me, y'all. My mouth was bad, even that young. I was like, shut up, you're stupid. You're never gonna amount to anything. You're never gonna be anything. Like, I read him, like, that young, from A to Z. Like, really? Seriously. Like, you're never gonna do anything with your life. And he started crying. this 8th grader because of a 1st grader or kindergartner at this time telling him off. He told the teacher, and I got in trouble because of it. It was a whole thing.
He started it.
He started. I'm a child. Like, you're 13,
right?
And I'm like 6,
right?
But I just had a flip mouth from a very, very young age. Always. Just pray for me, help me.
Slick tongue, huh?
Bring it back.
Comebacks.
So yeah, so that was one thing to share with you all. Next week on the Beyond the Song series, how much time do you all put into your outer appearance?
None.
She's ready for it. Yeah.
I'm like, what am I gonna wear? What's clean?
Do you all shop a lot?
No.
Okay, good, because I hate shopping. Just wondering.
No, I love to shop.
Oh, you love it?
Just my financial situation. the way my
bank account is set up.
Down.
Like, when you make a decision, it's final. Like, literally, we make a decision, it's what it is.